Closed captioning of this program is brought to you by Pioneer. Energy for life.
When it comes to angling tradition for lake trout, most people that troll deep water for lake trout use some kind of a wobbling spoon. Now what I'm holding up, this particular one is called a flipper. It's made by the Lucky Strike Lure Company, and it's pearl on one side, silver, and you can see it's got these dots on it. Then it has almost like jewelry, these little tabs that almost look like fins when it's going through the water. The spoon is about, I'd say, 3.5 inches long. So this is a very popular spoon in this color because the white almost looks like a small cisco or a small whitefish, because a lot of the lake trout that are in deeper water are feeding for those cold water bait fish. Now, a lot of them either have green backs or blue backs, and what I'm holding up here are another two wobbling spoons. This particular one is called an attractor, very similar to the first one, and this one is called a scarlet eye, and that's because of that red eye that's there. I think that Lucky Strike puts those eye there so that it looks a little bit like blood maybe. For some reason, fish like red color underwater, especially in clear water. That's why a lot of the companies have gone to red hooks. Now you can see that one spoon is a little bit longer, one is a little bit wider. This one has more blue, this one less blue. They're both silver. On one rod, I've got the attractor on there, and what I'm going to do is put the scarlet eye on this other rod that I've got here. And I'm going to show you the action in the water. Has a beautiful action. So it's a very simple spoon. It's about the size of a 3-inch bait fish. And when you're dealing with clear water, sometimes smaller is better than bigger as far as size. And these seem to be producing just the right flash to get these native lake trout here at Eagle Lake. You know, I think this is a really nice kind of fishing that you can do as a family, the trolling part, or as couples, right, Barb, like you and me?
I think it's great.
Because some fishing, like casting plugs and stuff, can be hard, especially on young kids, even though they can do it. Or feeling the bottom without getting stuck a lot when you're fishing for walleye. But trolling, you know, as long as you've got the right sets, the right length of line, especially if you're using this lead core line with the trolling rods and reels, I mean, a fish hits, you grab the rod, you have it on, and then you hope you can bring it in. You know, the great thing about this outfit that we're fishing out of, this is a 2010 G3. It's 17.5 feet. And you can see what a high freeboard it has. It's powered by a 4-stroke outboard, and they're so quiet. In the old days, you would have to yell because the outboards would be so loud, but the 4 strokes are smooth. We control down to about 2.5 miles an hour. Which is fine even for walleye or whatever speed we want, faster. We got so much room in this boat. It's okay, keep reeling, you're getting into the leader. And we've got electronics to show us where the fish are.
Oh, it's coming aboard.
Yeah, it's a nice lake trout, gentle, keep it below the surface. Okay, now, as you're fighting it, walk back to this left corner, Barb, because I'm gonna need to get it in the, it's not a monster fish, but the only net we have is a cradle, because we are expecting maybe to get some bigger fish. Because I have heard that they've gotten lake trout up to 30 pounds here at Eagle Lake. Okay, you're doing great, Barb. So you're going to have to bring it on this side over here. We got the wind going against us.
Oh, it's on the surface now.
Yeah, come on, reel it more over here, Barb. Right on this side, right side, so I can get at it in a minute. Yep, you're guiding it great, Barb.
Thank you.
Okay, a little more. Okay, bring it right up to the cradle, love. Good one.
Oh.
Okay, so we technically didn't need a cradle. We could have used a landing net, but because we were shoreline fishing for a variety of big fish, including big pike and trying to get a big muskie, this one is going to be a take-home, Barb.
Yes.
So we're going to just hold it up for the viewers. You're allowed 1 lake trout each here at Eagle Lake, and this one's not too big. Barb, look at this.
Beautiful.
Well done.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's beautiful. Yeah, we don't need to measure it.
You know?
It's a beautiful size fish. I mean, lake trout are delicious, and it's so nice that you can get a variety here of lake trout, walleye, pike, muskie. Amazing. Now Earlier I mentioned that we're using a lead core line. You can see that it's different colors. I'm going to stop it in a minute as soon as we get through this color that we're going through now, just before we get to the blue. So every color section of this line, so there's the blue that's just starting here, is 10 yards long. And at the same time, I'm also using a counter reel. So you can see the counters going out. So about for every color, we're looking at about 33 feet. There's the next color right there. It's like a brown color. So I've been letting out about 350 feet of line. So you see the counter here, we're about almost halfway out, or the equivalent of about 10 colors, almost 11 colors. So this is an ideal outfit because even if you don't use a color-coded lead core line, some people use stainless steel line or copper line and it's not color-coded. So you got to know how many feet you go out and work the same equation for how fast the line drops. So we're actually bouncing bottom at about 55 feet, which is perfect. Because right now, Barb's holding the boat in about 62, 63 feet of water with some marks. The other thing you'll notice is that I'm putting my thumb on the line. It's very easy to get a backlash because this is a pretty high diameter line. It's 20-pound test because it's lead in the center and then it's coated with the braided material. So you can see we're at about 370. So I'm going to stop it right about there and I'm going to lock it, okay? So, very important that you release the line slowly when it goes out, and when you retrieve it on, that you're smooth. So a lot of times I'll tell the Barb, she gets excited because she's got a fish on, I'll say try to be smooth so that we don't get any line overlapping another line. So these reels are very simple to use. They're really trolling reels. This is the lever where if I go back, it releases the line. If I snap it forward, it locks the line. It's got a big star drag. And I like to have the drag pretty tight, but if you get hung up on bottom, you don't want your lead core to break or whatever line you're using. And then this is the clicker. So right now it's on clicker. Here the clicker. I'd rather have the clicker off. So I'm going to go up. So now there's no clicker. So it's pretty straightforward to use. But if you're going to be using a lead core line, you have to have a reel like this that has high line capacity. And then a rod that has a lot of flex. This particular rod is a downrigger rod. You can see that it's 7/9, it's almost 8 feet long, and it's part of the Magnum series, and it's rated for line weight from 8 to 20-pound test. So even using the 20-pound lead core is perfect for this rod. So the reason I'm using downrigger rods instead of using a steel line rod is they're a little softer, and we're getting a mix here of walleye, pike, and lake trout. So the walleye hit very lightly. With the downrigger rods, the rod will bounce like 1 to 3 feet, so you definitely know when you have a fish on. So then you set the rod out, and you just let it sit there.